Respected chairperson, dignitaries, and participants, Namaste. Namaste. I am Devram Sundar. On behalf of co-author, I am going to share this paper entitled Factor Associated with Double Burden of Malnutrition Among Mothers and Children in Nepal. Malnutrition in mothers and children is a significant public health problem in developing countries like Nepal, although undernutrition in children has been gradually declined. At the same time, different form of malnutrition has been increasing. Various studies have highlighted the maternal overweight, obesity, and child undernutrition among mother-child pairs. It's thought to be the results of interaction of changes related to socio-demographic and economic status and dietary habit and intensity of physical activity. These are the many outline of presentation. Double burden of malnutrition. What is it? Double burden of malnutrition can be exist in the individual, individual, household, and the country level. In this paper, we examined the double burden of malnutrition at the household level. Overnutrition, undernutrition, and macronutrient deficiency equally the risk of various health problems. In the previous days, undernutrition was common in the developing countries, but nowadays, overweight and obesity also a public health challenge in the developing world. This graph shows the trend of malnutrition indicators such as stunting, underweight, and overweight in the global scenario. We can see here that the prevalence of undernutrition, that means the stunting, underweight, and wasting has been declined among the under-5-year-old children from the 1990 to 2014. At the same time, maternal overweight obesity has been increasing in trend. This graph also shows the child undernutrition and maternal overweight obesity trend in the context of Nepal. Both we can see here that both stunting and underweight has been declined over 2 decades. On the other hand, maternal overweight and obesity has been increasing since past in 1.5 decade in Nepal. Coexistence of different forms of malnutrition among mothers and children has continued to rise globally, including in Nepal. Mother overweight, obesity, child undernutrition among the mother-child pairs within the same household has not yet been explored using nationally representative data in the context of Nepal. The main objective of our study was to explore the coexistence of double burden of malnutrition associated factors among mother-child pairs resided in the same household in the Nepal methodology. This study was based on the Nepal Demographic and Health Survey secondary data, and this which is utilize a stratified 2-stage cluster sampling design to provide representative estimates for 7 provinces and 3 ecological zones. A total of 2,261 mother-child pairs were included in this analysis. Study variables and data analysis. Data were extracted from the DHS website after open request, and anthropometric measurement and body mass index were taken for children and mothers. We dichotomized the double burden of malnutrition as a dependent variable into the presence coded 1 if there is a overweight obese mother and undernourished child. That means the undernourished child means the stunted or wasted or underweight, and we coded 0 if there is not overweight obese mother and not undernourished child. And finally, this dependent behavioral will categorize into presence coded 1 for presence double burden of malnutrition and 0 for absence of double burden of malnutrition. The bivariate and multivariable logistic regression analysis were used in this analysis, and data we performed using Stata version 14.1. This table shows the plan for data coding, description of the study variables, and result and discussion. This figure shows the socio-demographic characteristics of the respondent. About half of the respondent were 24 to 34 years age groups, and the mean age of mothers was 26 years old. About 34% of the mothers had no education. That means the uneducated. Majority of the mothers were uneducated in this study. Similarly, more than 1/3 of mothers belonging to the poor wealth status family, and 90% of the mothers had normal height. Majority of the mothers had agriculture as their occupation, and that means the 26% of the respondent were resided from the province number 2, followed by province number 1 and province number 3, that means the Bagmati province. Slightly less than 1/4 of children were below 12 months of age groups, and more than half of children were male. This map shows the prevalence of double burden of malnutrition by province and number of double burden malnutrition by province. We can see here that the prevalence of double burden of malnutrition was higher in province number 1, followed by province number 2, and province number 5. I think this possible reason could be that these 3 provinces are more developed provinces among the 7 provinces in Nepal. The overall prevalence of double burden of malnutrition was 6.59% in this in the context of Nepal. This table shows the regression analysis of this study, and mothers older than 35 years old had a higher odds of double burden of malnutrition compared to younger age. And similarly, mothers who came from province number 2 were found to have a lower odds of double burden of malnutrition compared to province number 3. I think this possible reason could be that mothers from province number 2 are more likely to be lower socioeconomic status and consuming a less diverse diet, resulting in decreasing likelihood of being overweight and obesity in the context of province number 2. Likewise, mothers having at least secondary level of education and richer wealth family, and mothers who had short stature compared to normal height had found to have higher odds of double burden of malnutrition in this regression analysis. Finally, at a conclusion, this study highlighted double burden of malnutrition exists, but low prevalence in Nepal. However, this prevalence will increase in near future. The government of Nepal implemented nationwide maternal child health and nutrition program. Although maternal health promotion and nutrition education program would be a good strategy to prevent double burden malnutrition in Nepal. Also, our finding also indicate that wealthier socioeconomic families should not be neglected in the prevention strategies of double burden of malnutrition. So further research is required to identify these causal relationship risk factors of double burden of malnutrition among mother-child pairs in the context of Nepal. This paper has already published in BMC Public Health Journal. If you want to know more about this paper, please go through this this link. Finally, I would like to thank the Nepal Research Council Organizing Committee for giving me an opportunity to share our scientific work. Thank you, and thank you very much.